Worn Out Souls, a story of soul contracts and synchronicity. There are no coincidences in life. A coincidence is defined as a remarkable concurrence of events or circumstances without apparent connection or significant meaning. Again, these do not exist because all coincidences have meaning, which is what Carl Jung defined as a synchronicity. Synchronicities refer to the law of unity, that we are all linked through our unconscious. There is no separation between you, me, anyone, or anything. Any movement, no matter how small, will eventually be felt by us all. Every interaction we have with others will trigger a chain reaction that impacts the universe. This can be small interactions that include a friendly smile to the clerk at the gas station, changing her day, which may make her smile at the next person, who treats his clients better, and they go along and feel better and pass along the chain of love to the next. It can also have enormous impacts on the world, such as a woman in Montgomery, Alabama, refusing to give up her seat on a bus in 1955, which led to the civil rights movement of the 1960s. Once we are aware of synchronicities, we start seeing them every day and in every moment, interaction, and movement. In fact, we see that not only are synchronicities true, but that they exist in every single moment. Everything is a synchronicity, every moment is changing the course of history for the world. Yesterday, I had one of these that reminded me of how simple this works. I had plans to meet up with someone at 9 p.m., and I was early, so I stopped by my local gym to go for a quick 45-minute jog. Cardio has become a form of meditation for me and allows me to clear my mind and come up with new ideas. Currently, I have been struggling with how I can do more to give back to others and make a difference on the world. I was hoping that a quick cardio session would boost some creative juices and give me some ideas. However, the universe had a greater plan in place. About 7 minutes into my jog, the sole of my shoe had started to rip open and I could feel my big toe pressing against the moving rubber of the treadmill. Frustrated, I wanted to fight through it, but knew that it would only create much greater pain. I had no choice but to end my session at this point. I didn't feel like lifting, so I returned to my car to text my friend and see if we could meet earlier. As I drove away from the gym, I was receiving about 20 texts and needed to pull over and see what was going on. Through the intersection, there is a Super America gas station on the left and a Walgreens pharmacy on the right. I come here often, and I would say 99% of the time I stop for a snack or anything that I always go to the gas station. I had every intent on going to the gas station today, in fact, had my left blinker on and there was a car behind me and it was clear to turn. Just at this instant, it was as if somebody grabbed hold of the wheel because I felt an incredibly strong urge to go to Walgreens suddenly. I switched my blinker to the right side and made a quick, sharp turn into the pharmacy so fast that my tires squealed, which was quite embarrassing to say the least. While I sat in my car responding to texts and in my own world, I continued to ask what I can do to give back and help the world. I grabbed a piece of paper and started making a list of the things I wanted to do to help volunteer, start new projects, or reach out to others. I came up with an incredible list and then just asked, if only an opportunity would present itself to me. Then, opportunity knocked. Literally, a knock on my passenger side glass startled me and I looked up. As I looked out the window, there was a middle-aged African-American man that had taken a good couple steps back from my car and had both his hands up as if to show me that he had no weapon and that he was not a threat. He had a sincere look of helplessness on his face, and I almost wondered what my facial expression looked like to have him jump back a few steps. I rolled down the window and you could see everything in this man's body language that he was in dire need. "I am so very sorry," the man stated with remorse in his eyes. "I really hate to bother you, but I am in need of some help." "Sure, what's up?" I asked curiously. "Do you know where Brooklyn Park is?" He asked. "It's a long-ass way from here. I came out here to help some people out and now I'm the one stuck here." Just to clarify, Brooklyn Park is a predominantly black suburb of Minneapolis-St. Paul area. I live in a predominantly white suburb about an hour away from this man's destination. I wasn't sure what he needed at this time and just kept my window down and waiting for him to continue. "This is so embarrassing, but I was out here helping someone out and I am just about out of gas," he said with a shamed look in his face. "I have to make it all the way back to Brooklyn Park and I forgot my wallet. I'm trying to do a good thing and this is what happens. Is there any chance you could help me out?" "Yeah, let's go inside and I'll grab you some cash," I told him, and you could see the life go back into this man's life. As if hope in humanity had been restored, as we walked inside to the ATM machine, I felt all eyes were upon us. An elderly couple looked at me in disgust. A middle-aged white man scowled at the man who was in need. One of the younger female workers had fear in her eyes. The woman behind the counter, the only other African American in the store, gave me a look in her eye which said, "You have a kind heart," but her facial expression had a tone as if to say, "But you are being taken advantage of by this guy." I gave the man $20 and asked if that would be enough to get him home. "Thank you so much, you have no idea how embarrassing this is," he said with a tear in his eye. I asked a couple people and you wouldn't believe their response. One man told me, "How the hell does a grown-ass man forget his wallet?" "I do it all the time," I told him. "We've all been there. I'd hope someone would do the same for me if I were in your situation." He gave me a hug in front of everyone in the store and wished me a happy 4th of July weekend. I wished him well and went on my way to pick up a few snacks at the store myself. This is what I call a soul contract. A soul contract is a prearranged contract prior to entering this lifetime that we make with others. We do so in order to teach each other lessons that help us grow. This was part of our plan to meet at this encounter, and the universe works in ways to make sure we meet. The worn-out soles of my tennis shoes led me to another worn-out soul asking for help, but this is not where the soul contracts end. It goes much deeper. We actually have soul contracts with every person we encounter, every single day. There were other soul contracts with each person in that store for us to teach each other lessons. As I made my way to the counter, the middle-aged man who had previously yelled at the guy asking for help was in front of me. He spent $34.17 that day, mostly on junk food, soda, candy, and unnecessary items. "I can't believe you gave that man money," he tells me in disgust. "You realize he is taking it to the liquor store or a crack house right now." "That is not up to me," I told the man as I looked directly into his eyes that filled with hurt of his own. "I am only responsible for my actions, choices, and behaviors. I am not responsible for the outcome." The man asked for money to get home and I willingly gave him some money. That is all that happened. Nobody knows the outcome, nor do we need to know. The man grumbled and threw his hands at me as to say, "The hell with you." Then he took his bags of junk food and walked out the store, continuing to carry with him his bitterness of this entire situation. I also had a soul contract with this man. He was teaching me of how I have acted in situations in the past. In fact, just 30 minutes ago, worn-out soles of my sneakers had ruined my day and I was getting bitter. Everyone we encounter is just a reflection of ourselves, and this man was portraying the way I was acting internally not too long ago. I was letting a minor inconvenience ruin my day. That is the lesson he was providing me. Hopefully, my lesson to him was spreading love. But again, it is not up to me what my lesson is to him. I am not responsible for results. The woman behind the counter did not even mention the interaction. She just smiled and wished me well after paying for my items. There was a soul contract there too. I do not know the reasons, nor do I need to know. I have no idea how this story ends and probably never will. It brings great inner peace to no longer have the need to attach to outcomes. But it also brings great humility to remember that each person I meet, despite our differences, beliefs, opinions, and attitudes, is there to teach me something and help me grow. Honoring soul contracts in our daily lives. There are 3 main ways to help remember soul contracts and honor them throughout our daily lives. The first one is remembering the story of Brahma. In this tale, Brahma creates the universe and all the people. His friend Maya then asks to play a game in which she cuts Brahma up into millions of pieces and puts a piece of him in every human. She erases his memory so he does not remember, and the game is for him to find himself in every person, or for each of us to find God in each other. Taking this concept one step deeper, I realize that every person is actually me from a different lifetime. It works on the same level as the story of Brahma. We are all one interconnected being and experiencing the world from different perspectives. When I view the world this way, I see the pain and hurt in others' eyes, and see into their soul. I do not know the man's story that was so angry, but I know that was me from a different lifetime and I am trying to help him grow and flourish. the third way of thinking of soul contracts, is taking the second concept even one step further. Since we are all God from a different perspective, I think of each person I encounter as an enlightened master and have been put in my path to teach me a lesson. Everyone I meet is enlightened, except for myself. With this perspective, I learn from everyone. The man needing gas, the old couple, the angry man, the scared employee, and the kind woman behind the counter, were all put there to teach me something. I can only hope that I learned the lesson. But if I do not learn the lesson, the soul contracts have stipulations to ensure that we do not move on until we get what we needed to know from that interaction. Albert Einstein once said, "There are two ways to go about looking at the world, as if nothing is a miracle, or as though everything is a miracle." I prefer the latter. I prefer to believe that my worn-out souls led me to worn-out souls, and that, when I honor our soul contracts, worn-out souls will always lead me to greater peace, freedom, and serenity. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the best you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis it is between you and God, it was never between you and them anyway. Mother Teresa, by Cortland Pfeffer Irwin Osborne, authors of Taking the Mask Off, Destroying the Stigmatic Barriers of Mental Health and Addiction Using a Spiritual Solution, ~operator. If you like our article, give Conscious Reminder a thumbs up, and help us spread love light, ~operator.